Hey everybody, and welcome to my channel. My name is Noah Kellman, and I'm here to teach you everything that I know about modern jazz piano. Today, we are talking about a really fun subject called triad pairs. Now, you've probably heard of these before. They are used very commonly for modern improvisation, but for me, I love exploring them because there's a very unique way we can look at them when it comes to the piano, and that is triadic harmony. We can use different triad pairs to create some absolutely gorgeous voicings and sounds to experiment with, and that is exactly what we're going to be looking at today. But if you are not yet subscribed, please consider clicking the subscribe button and hitting that bell to turn on notifications, because we are constantly rolling out more videos just like this one. Also, if you know my channel already, please be sure to smash that like button, as it really helps me out going forward. All right, without any further ado, let's dive right in here. So, what is a triad pair? Well, it's actually pretty much as simple as it sounds. We are literally just taking two different triads and, in one way or another, putting them together. So let's just look at this for a second. We could take a C major triad, right? A triad is just 1, 3, 5 of any chord or scale played together. So there is a triad. To make it a pair, we need another triad, so let's take a D major triad. Interesting. All right, so plain and simple, we now have D major over C. So we write these as slash chords. In jazz, you've probably seen a lot of slash chords before. Slash chords are great when we don't necessarily have another fantastic way of writing a certain voicing down as a chord symbol, or alternatively, they work great if we want a very highly specific sound. In this case, right, we could also think of this as a C major 6, 9 with a sharp 11, because we've got a 6 and a 9, but no major 7. But to me, it's almost easier to just write D major over C major, right? And we leave that 7 out. Now, of course, this is just the plain, simple version of these two triads put together. But if we wanted to make this voicing a little bit more well-structured, or at least well-structured in my opinion, we could always go to different inversions. So right now, we've got both of these in their root position, right? So with the 1 in the bottom. We could also flip this top one. Now it's in second inversion, right? 1, 2, 3. So we've got root position, first inversion, second inversion. Of course, root position was the 1 on bottom, first inversion with the 3 on bottom, second inversion with the 5 on bottom. So we put the second inversion on bottom, and check out this beautiful C major voicing here. I love this. So pretty. Now, in this video, we are mainly going to be talking about triad pairs from the harmonic standpoint, but again, make sure you are subscribed if you're not already, because we're also going to, in another video coming up very soon, talk about triad pairs from the melodic standpoint. So in other words, right now we're talking about chords and harmony and how triad pairs can form these chords and beautiful things to use in different progressions. But in the next video, we're actually going to talk about how we can use triad pairs for soloing, opening up our lines, modernizing them, etc. So one thing we've talked a lot about on this channel is how to actually use nice voice leading. Voice leading, of course, is just the concept that instead of switching from one chord by jumping around with root positions constantly, we can switch from one chord without moving our hands so much. So let's say we were just going to jump up a fourth here from C major to F major, right? So really D over C to G over F. Well, let's see if there's another way we could do this more easily. I'm seeing one right away. I'm going to say it's okay to use different inversions of these triads. Well, in that case, we could do second inversion of the F triad and first inversion of the G triad. And so we've still got G, right? 3, 5, 1 over F, which is 5, 1, 3. So look at that beautifully voice-led switch. And what if we wanted to now go to C over B flat, up another fourth? That is such a pretty progression. Wow. Let's hear that one more time, actually. So that is super cool. Wow. At least I think so. Super quick aside, if you want to dive deeper into this stuff, check out jazzpianoconcepts.com/store. I've got lots of amazing materials with voicings and different exercises that you can check out. Sorry, stumbled on my words a bit there. Also, at join.jazzpianosecrets.com, you can get on the waitlist for my full several hour video course, which is completely step-by-step and has assignments for every single week and some very awesome community access in our Discord where you get priority help and support. All right, let's keep going. So much like a lot of things we discuss here in music, there may be different ways of naming certain chords. There may be different concepts that explore the same kind of material, but what we're doing here is we're using these pairs of triads as essentially a different viewpoint, a different perspective on harmony, something that can give us new ideas for chords, for voice leading, and even for sounds. So I'm going to go back to our C major triad here, the D over C, and this time I want to think about moving to a completely different type of chord altogether. So, in fact, I'm not actually going to think of that chord first. Instead, I'm just going to keep my C major triad on the bottom, and then I want to explore what other sounds we can get just by changing our top triad. And some may work, some may not, but let's just see what we can do. Okay, so plain and simple, if we do a B minor triad over C, B minor over C, this is a great example of where we probably wouldn't call it B minor over C. We'd probably just call this C major 9, sharp 11, right? Sorry, C major 9, sharp 11. It's just a C major 7 chord with a 9 and a sharp 11 on top. So that's a good example of one it's not that cool. But what if we try something else here? Okay, so let's go back. First of all, let's just do, how about, let's see. Whoa, okay. So that's interesting. All right, so this is definitely one where we would think of this as a C dominant 7 sound. We've got a dominant 7 in the left hand, and then we've got a sharp 9 and a sharp 11. So we've got C7, sharp 9, sharp 11. Cool. So again, we might write that chord as a C chord, but still, using this method, we just found a really interesting sound. So we've got this, we've got that. Let's keep going here and see what else we can find. Okay, all right, let's try B over C. Cool. What an interesting sound. Okay, so we've got C major 7 in the bottom, but then we've got actually a sharp 9 and a sharp 11. So I would probably just call this chord B over C. Yeah, interesting. And of course, just as a quick side note, as we discover these kinds of chords, we can also try them in different inversions of the triad. So, what if we put this C in first inversion and see what else we can come up with? I'm actually just going to keep, whoa, okay. I actually love that. I'm keeping the B in root position. So we could actually play it like this, right? But just to kind of keep visually seeing the triad, C, B. So B over C. I love that cluster. Wow, that is so cool. And I could also open it up more, put the B like this. Or check this out, we could also do, wow, okay. That is quite clustered. So let me get that up here. Maybe sounds a little bit better higher up because of the cluster, but creates such an interesting texture. So this is just really, really interesting exploration here of the triads. Okay, now let's look at another scenario here. So far we've just been doing C major in the left hand. So there's so much more we can explore here. In fact, I would highly encourage you, if you have any ideas for different triads we combine into beautiful chords, or if you already know some, or if you come up with some from this video, please post them in the comments. I would love to chat with you about them because there is such a wealth of ideas we could come up with here. I want to figure out some more of these. Also, if you're enjoying this video so far and if you've learned anything, please consider hitting that like button. Really helps me out. Thank you so much. All right, so now let's put a minor triad in the bottom. So last time we tried the B minor over C major, wasn't that interesting, right? But I mean, it was nice, but it was basically just a C chord that we were already aware of. What if we do B minor over C minor? What an interesting chord. I love this chord. It's super dreamy, but in a dark way. For me, this conveys like a dark, magical world. And I know that's a very personal thing, but yes, I am a big fantasy fan, whether it be books, TV, or movies. Right now I'm checking out some Brandon Sanderson. I don't know if any of you have read any of his books, but the Stormlight Archive is a new favorite. So if we got any fantasy fans out there, that's always fun to talk about. Be sure to comment some book suggestions, because I'm going to be looking for some new ones soon. All right, cool. So let's see what else we can get in this minor realm. So we're going to keep the C minor in the bottom. Let's see what else. What if we did, I don't know, B flat minor? Okay, I think we just found our first one that's maybe just not quite working. At least for me, right? This is all very personal, but for me, not sure that does anything for me. Let's keep trying. Okay, now that's cool. I actually did D major over C minor. Wow, really nice sound. So we've got C minor with a 9, we've got a sharp 11 and a 6. So let's put this in this inversion here again. So we got basically C minor 6, 9. But then we're adding this sharp 11 on top. Wow, that is really, really cool. So D major over C minor, D over C minor. Interesting, love that sound. What about going back to that, let's try it. Let's try this. Not sure I love that, but that works a little better. Let's keep trying. Let's keep trying. Nope. No. Okay. That's nice. We've got the C repeated, so it's not that great. So what if instead of repeating the C, right now I'm doing F over C minor. So this is actually a good moment to talk for a second. We've got F over C minor, but we've got this C repeated. And I feel like we could actually get a little more color out of this chord if we didn't repeat that C. So let's see what else we can do. I'm moving the D up, and wow, we've got D minor over C minor. That is so pretty to me. And let's do our inversion trick here. Let's see if we can find another interesting inversion. It's interesting, not my favorite. So that's nice. We could do, that's nice. Really like that one. So what I would suggest that you do from here is you actually create a really, really nice little chord dictionary for yourself. This is what I do. I actually used to just use paper, so I have all these notebooks of voicings and chords that I love. What I would recommend you do maybe today, if you happen to have an iPad or some kind of small tablet of some sort, it's really nice to be able to just write this stuff on an iPad and just keep it in the cloud, because that way you can, make sure to access it anytime and not lose it. That's what I've finally started doing very, very recently. But I do it the same way. I just scribble chords in my iPad. And so every time I find an interesting combination, I write it down. And then I make sure to really take it through the full voicing spectrum of exercises to make sure I really know it. If you want to know exactly how to truly master a voicing, I actually did a 4-part video series on that. I will be sure to link that as a little info link in the top of the video and also in the video description. And then make sure to learn each one of these. So just sit down. It's actually so much fun. When you're bored, you can just sit down and be like, I'm going to discover voicings by using triads and triadic harmony. And I'm going to switch around one note and just see what kind of sounds I can come up with. That right there is my tip for you today. I personally find this to be a really, really fun and beneficial way of discovering voicings, new sounds, unique voicings that no one else is playing regularly. So I hope it does the same for you. And again, if you found this helpful, please be sure to click the like button. And if you are new to the channel, please be sure to click subscribe, hit the little bell to turn on notifications so you don't miss any more videos just like this one. In addition to that, I have tons of awesome material available at jazzpianoconcepts.com/store. Exercises with progressions, voicings, different licks that you can try out, all sorts of very affordable and great exercises that you can use to specialize specific skills and improve. And for those of you who want some more in-depth guidance, I've got a couple great options. Number one, my Jazz Piano Secrets video course. That is around 10 hours of video, completely guided step-by-step with assignments. Get on the wait list. I'll put the link in the description. Or for even more guidance, be sure to click the link in the description. You can schedule a completely free call that'll be with either myself or someone from my team of amazing coaches. They will chat with you about your goals and help you figure out what the best next musical steps for you will be. Again, that's totally free, and those calls happen on Zoom. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.